Don't fuck up. Don't fuck yourself. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Rude Cooking School podcast. I'm your host, John Hauser III. And with me today is a cook, a baker, a business owner, a purveyor of esoteric culinary paraphernalia. And she makes an amazing chocolate-covered banana bread. It's Sylva Lin. Hey, Sylva, how you doing?
Hey, how are you?
Good. Okay, so I just want to get into this first because we started talking about this right before we got on. So Sylva is sitting, looking at her computer, and behind her is a brick, what looks like, a wall of brick, but then there's like an arch, which clearly I was like, oh, she's sitting in front of like a baking hearth or something. And then right before we go on, she tells me, oh yeah, we just discovered this today. Can you please explain to me how you just discovered a pizza oven in your bakery?
Well, we haven't been here that long. Let me preface that.
Yeah.
We moved here over Christmas. And so we've had boxes and just stuff everywhere because we have more stuff than actually fits in our store and our bakery.
Sure.
So it was covered. And I was like, you know what? My desk, since we moved, has been in the middle of our bakery and it keeps expanding and spreading. So we kind of moved all the stuff today and then realized that behind there was a pizza oven.
Holy shit.
Not very big. So then I looked in it because I was like, maybe there's some money in there.
Right. Of course.
We are in Little Italy, so maybe somebody, that's where they store their stuff.
Also look for skeletons.
Oh, yeah. Maybe they would have burned them, though, So it's just this tiny pizza oven that fits like one pizza. And it's in a weird place. It's just on the wall. And so I don't know if originally they actually made pizza from this room. Looks like it was a dining room previously. But it does look like it's got smoke that was on the brick.
Yeah.
So, it was used. I don't know when, but I'm going to find out. And I'll let you know.
I'm expecting some pizza to be coming out of that joint soon.
Oh, yeah. You might be waiting.
Hell yeah. Well, of course, you're going to have to check the flu and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But that's awesome. Like, okay. So you've been there. We're going to get into the history, but like, what was I about to say? You had so much stuff. Like when you checked the place out, you didn't notice it?
No.
Or there was just shit in the way?
We just stuff everywhere. We were doing like construction and stuff like that. And so, it was covered drywall and stuff like that. So today we just kind of moved everything around just because we need more space.
Yeah.
And we're always moving things around to reconfigure our space. So yeah, it was pretty cool. I don't know if we'll use it because it probably costs a lot of money to make it operational.
Because it's probably gas.
No, it looks like it is like a wood
fired
oven.
Oh, okay.
But so we'd have to see like how it goes up through the building.
Yeah, venting.
And the venting, and that looks really maybe expensive. But we shall see. I will keep you posted. We might not make pizza in it, but we might put bread in it if it were to work.
Ooh, yeah. What was that building before you bought it?
So this, I think, has always been restaurants. And I can never remember the name of the restaurants they were.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
But for a long time, it was an Italian Ciao-Bella was here. And
Ciao-Bella. Right.
Really, really, really long time.
Okay.
And then after that, I think there was a series of restaurants. It didn't last very long.
Yeah. Ciao-Bella was there for years and years and years and years.
10 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact,
probably
I had
from
a server who came in the other day, who was a server at Ciao-Bella, and she brought her daughter in, and she went down like memory lane for about an hour. It was great. And she was telling me all the history of it, and the owner she's like really grouchy, but like everyone loved him. And he was really great to the people that work for him.
Yeah. Nice. So, for those who are listening, who don't know, Sylva owns, Culinary Architecture, which is a place I have talked about a few times, especially about the chocolate covered banana bread, which we'll talk about as well. But you originally started out in a different part of Baltimore and then just moved next to my neighborhood, which is making me very happy because now I go there almost every weekend and get breakfast sandwiches instead of inferior breakfast sandwiches at other places that I'm not going to name. How did you guys get started?
In Baltimore. So originally I was in DC and I was a private chef. I worked for doing nutritional cooking for professional athletes. And I worked as a private chef for many politicians. I worked on Capitol Hill. And I was expanding. And at the time I moved here was in 2006 and I needed a space. And DC at that time was ridiculously expensive. And I was like, oh, Baltimore, they have a sale in Baltimore, real estate. So we moved to Pigtown because it was in close proximity to the stadiums. And I was at that time doing still a lot of work with athletes. And so we found this little place and I was like, you know what? I just don't want to do like just private chef, catering, that kind of stuff. I like to have a little store. Like I've always loved all of little stores that are kind of quirky and that have spices, little grocery stores. Those are always the first places I gravitate to whenever I travel is like, oh, where's the great, interesting food at? So we opened in Pigtown and we were the only business there for a long time that, and I live in Union Square. So I was like, well, I'd love to be able to walk to work or be in close proximity. Ended up that I drove most of the time. And so we became, just that place to go in Pigtown. But as time went on, we needed to grow. The store grew, COVID happened, and our business model is forever changing to keep up with the changing world, which is, difficult if you're in the food business, to stay in business, rising costs, COVID, all of those things, financial, things that happen to you when you own a business and you get an SBA loan during COVID and you think, oh, this is great. Until you're thinking the world's going to come back to the way it was pre-COVID and it never came back. So
Right.
A lot of small businesses have a lot of that debt from taking these loans. And if the world never came back, like the pressure's on you to, increase your revenue. And so we needed to move from Pigtown so that we could just pay our bills. Yeah. And so we looked for a long time for a place that we wanted to be. And the most important component was we wanted to be in a neighborhood. We are a community grocery store. So looked for and my friend Kathy, who owns MFG Toffee, had moved to Little Italy. She had been cooking out of Culinary Architecture for a while. And she's like, hey, there's this place that's really awesome. It's got windows. And I drove by and I thought it was just the front of the store. I hadn't really been in Little Italy a whole lot. And then I came in and looked at the space and it was enormous and it was quirky and it was old and it had all of the features I wanted. I never wanted to go into a brand new building that was really sterile and corporate.
Yeah.
Like we're just not that kind of place. I think we're too disorganized for everybody to see that in a really Spartanly clean place. That doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
So we found this place and it's amazing. And the community was amazing or is amazing. And, we've been here, we moved in over Christmas, which was a terrible time to move, or get any permits done because people are on vacation for 3 months and not come back to work. But, overall it went pretty smooth and we opened a couple months ago and we've been warmly embraced by the, people that live here. We love it. We feel like we've been here a million years. And so, cool. And our business is evolving from the move.
So when did you first open up Culinary Architecture? What year?
2015 here and 2004 in DC.
Okay. So, okay. Nice. Wow. Okay.
I'm old.
22 years. Hey. Join the club. So, I mean, I'd only been to the Pigtown spot a couple times. My wife raved about the place and she's like, immediately once she went there, you have got to go there. Like, so I came down, like I can come down where you guys were in Pigtown, straight down Route 1, because I work out in Elkridge. And I would just come all the way down. It was just enough time for me to come down, order a sandwich, peruse all the stuff, get the sandwich, and then bounce back. But I really liked it. I never really had a chance to like, go through. And now that you're close and I can come down, like the grocery store part of it that you're talking about, like, is incredible. Like, it's such a, like I was saying, like, there's so much stuff that you can't get at a normal grocery, like a big box place or,
and that's an evolution of, things that I love. Like, I am older, so there are brands that I've loved forever. Stonewall Kitchen. I mean, there's some just classic stuff. So when I open, and it's just like the longer I'm open, the more brands that I really love and hold on to. And then there's always new ones. But like the tariffs and all of that have kind of changed the way we buy stuff, because imported goods and food, they used to be, relatively inexpensive. And then the tariffs happened, and, the price keeps increasing on everything.
Fluctuating.
So, yeah, it's fluctuating. So we carry a little bit less now. It's hard to believe, but they're really thoughtful things. And I buy for the store. We're a catering company.
Right.
And we are a private event and chef company. So I always pick stuff that I know that I can use in cooking, for catering, for cheese boards, for lots of different stuff. So I always pick products that have a multi-use on them.
Yeah.
If it's going to expire, like, we're going to use it in the kitchen. So it's kind of a great business model, because we can utilize, almost all the product that we bring in. I'm always searching for that little thing. I used to buy stuff, I think when I first opened, like looking, some of it just at the brand, or like, oh, that's really cool, the packaging is great. But I'm not fooled by that anymore. So I taste it.
Yeah.
I don't buy like gimmicky stuff. One of I buy stuff that's in jars. I try and reduce our carbon footprint, and I don't like plastic very much. So you won't find a ton of plastic. You won't find
not a lot.
Something that, potato chips and stuff, you really can't help it.
Sure.
So I do have some exceptions to the rule. Things that are going to go stale, they sometimes have to be in different packaging. But it is the way I think about sustainability. We're going to do some things coming into the fall that are really exciting, with recyclable packaging, that we are going to weigh food. You can come in if we make pesto, and there'll be a list of stuff that you can purchase. You can bring your own container.
My wife's going to give you a giant hug for that.
Yeah, your wife and I have talked about sustainability.
That's her job.
That is her job, and she's great. And I am grateful that she's doing it for a big place like Hopkins. But so everything that we touch, we have a lot of like other little things in here that are vintage. There's a lot of goods that can be recycled, and they're a lot more interesting sometimes than the new stuff that you get. So I do carry like vintage cookware and stuff like that, and kind of mix it in with the food. Gives it like, something else to buy. There's a lot that I think we will probably expand in that area to cookware. Because it's just, classic stuff that you're going to keep around for a long time. So you might purchase something that's expensive, but you're going to have it the rest of your life. Like I still cook with things that were my mother's, that she cooked with, and I still have them. So, the store's kind of quirky. Finding stuff is always an adventure, but now I do ask people to send me samples.
But I think that's an adventure. An adventure is exactly the fun part of it, is the looking. Like, I feel like every time I go there, I felt like, even last Saturday when I went there, I feel like I know the place, and then I find something else and I'm like, I think this was there, but I was looking at something, you know what I mean? Like the way your eye moves, like there's always something to look at. And that's what makes it fun to find, like try to like, of course I'm always perusing the like chili crisp section, which is
that's a
incredible.
Good place to peruse.
But like, a couple weeks ago I bought that Worcestershire sauce.
Colonel Pabst. Fantastic.
Yeah, Colonel Pabst.
Yeah.
And didn't even put it together that it was the Pabst beer people. You know what I mean? Like,
I didn't even put that together.
it's on the back of the bottle.
I read the back.
Yeah, it talks about that. And then, but I didn't put the name and shit together. And then when I tasted it, I was like, wow, this is really malty. Oh, right. Like,
It's
of course
really,
it's malty
really
because,
good.
yeah,
It's
it's
in my top
really
10
good.
products.
It's so good. And I think also the packaging on that's really good. Like,
I like it too.
like it makes you want to buy it, but like it's really, really good Worcestershire sauce.
The
My son drinks
best
it by
thing
the
you can make with
spoonful.
it is like New Orleans barbecue shrimp. And
Ooh.
if you make it with that and get yourself a baguette, like it's a winner.
Damn, that sounds good. Where are you from, by the way?
I am Canadian, proudly Canadian.
Canadian?
I'm from Alberta, Canada.
Okay. For how long?
I was born there, and then my parents both were at University of Michigan, so we moved to Michigan. My dad is originally from Taiwan, and he has moved from Taiwan to Venezuela, and he's been in Bangkok, Thailand for most of my life. And my mom is Canadian, Scotch Canadian, and but I have a really interesting family. Most of the people on my dad's side were agrarian. They were farmers during, always rice farmers. And they were in Taiwan during World War II is when my dad grew up. And my fascination with food definitely comes from my parents. So my dad grew up when the Japanese occupied Taiwan during World War II. And his family my family were slaves to the Japanese army. And they starved. So my dad, his obsession has always been with food because he never wants to, I think he never wants to face like a food shortage.
Sure.
And so we always grew stuff. Anything we had, I grew up when we were in Michigan in Ann Arbor, and we lived in the city, but we had a garage and we had chickens, and my dad built like a little pond, which he didn't line. So we had to fill it with water every day, and we had ducks there. My mom she would go collect bees that were in people's attics and stuff. So we had beehives.
Oh, okay.
We had grapes. My parents were, I think, the original like food foragers. So for mushrooms and raspberries and strawberries, and they both have like a science, like botany background.
Sure.
So, we were always making things. In fact, I yearned for like a bologna sandwich from my neighbor's house.
When you were a kid?
When I was a kid, because we were already like half Chinese and like half American. It was during like the 1970s and 80s growing up when there was still like the Vietnam War just ended. So there was a lot of racism and not many mixed Amerasian children around. And so it was just that, if you're like eating rice for lunch, like it's not very popular.
Yeah.
And I just wanted, or homemade bread that's cut crooked. Like I just wanted a plain sandwich where no one would look at me eat my food.
Yeah. It's funny because talking to you, when I first met you, I was like, where the hell's that accent come from? And then talking to you now, excuse me, I'm like, what? I didn't think you were from Baltimore, but your accent almost is Baltimore, but by way of Philly.
You know what it is? My husband is from Mississippi, deep Mississippi, and his name is Biff. His
name's what?
Biff, B-I-F with one F. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that short for like Bifford or something?
Bifford T. Justice.
Is it for real?
No.
Okay. What is it?
I can't tell you out loud because he'd be mad at me.
He can't tell his first name?
Jeff, but I'm not supposed to say that out loud. Everybody knows him as Biff.
Okay.
But he is from Mississippi, and we've been together for, over 23 years. So I think his accent, whereas, I get some of his Southern accent.
So you got like a Southern accent by way of Canada and Midwest.
Yeah, and broken English in between,
Okay.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. How'd you get into cooking?
So I think from my parents, like they were like hippies and they made everything. So growing up, like there wasn't like snacks all around. It was like when my brother and I were in fourth grade, my mom was like, oh, you want a snack? She bought him a pasta machine And she's like, make your sister some pasta. And so we learned how to make the pasta dough. We put like a broom in between the like countertops, and then we would make the pasta, roll it, let it dry, and then we'd have pasta for snack. So I've never not made food.
That's funny.
And then, but also being Asian, your parents want you to be a doctor or a lawyer or something. An engineer would also be good. They did not want me to be working in a kitchen as a chef. Like, in fact, that was like their worst nightmare.
Right.
So I made it come true. I went to school and studied economics, and the prospect of sitting in a think tank or something like that was not what I wanted to do. I don't think I could sit still all day long. So I've always worked in a restaurant. And then I had a friend who worked for the Washington Wizards, and this job came up, and he's teaching players how to eat for sport and stuff like that. And they need a private chef. He's like, do you think, and I'd worked in restaurants and stuff like that, but he was like, do you think you want to do that? And I was like, I haven't done that before. I don't know how. But I was like, sure, I'll do it.
Yeah, of course. Nice.
I'm always like, I always say yes before, and then I think about it and like, why did I say that? But it changed the course of my life. Every time I say yes, it changes. Like,
when was that?
Direction I'm going in. So that was back in the early 2000s.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah. And I've been doing stuff like that ever since. And then I worked at the Capitol Grill for a really long time.
Oh, okay.
And worked as a bartender and stuff like that through college. And so I met a lot of politicians. So then I started doing like cooking gigs for them and private parties. And it was, the gift ban had just been passed. So politicians don't want to be seen eating out. So a lot of them dined in. And so it was a good time. And I got a lot of experience. And my experience from working in a kitchen as a young cook, female out of culinary school, was not great. Like, I was like, this is like the worst.
Did you go to culinary school?
Yeah. And I was like it was just, at that environment was like like Me Too. So working in a kitchen was really hard.
Oh, I worked in a kitchen in the 90s. I remember what it was like. Yeah.
I remember crying one time, and because I put too much salt or like a stew, oversalted something. And then the chef made me eat the entire thing while I was crying. And I was like, I don't like that. And it's often hard for women in this industry to, go it alone. Right. So that's what drew me into cooking for other people. And I got a really good start by cooking for a lot of like high up people. And I had a mentor at the time who was a private chef. He worked for one family, and he like moved all around, the United States to all the great spots, seasonal spots. And I was like, oh, I really like that. I like to say, like, work on a sailboat or, something where I can see the world. But I stayed in DC and then came to Baltimore. So,
what culinary school did you go to?
I went to CIA.
Oh, you went to CIA. Nice.
Yeah. So, yeah.
How was it back then?
It was tough. There weren't a lot of women. There weren't a lot of women. And, and it was a different environment. Like the whole cooking world was different. And I really like what I learned, and it was really hard. And you learn from these old school, French chefs. And, but I think that's when you learn the most, and you didn't come out of there thinking I'm going to be a chef. You came out of there like, I'm a cook.
Yeah.
And, now kids are like, they graduate and they're like, I'm a chef. And I was like, no, it takes a really, really long time for you to become a chef, and to be proficient in what you do. And a lot of experience tasting things, a lot of experience failing, making terrible dishes. And you learn from all of them. And, it takes a long time. What do they say? It takes like 10,000 hours to become
I hate
a master at something.
I agree that like you need to work at things, but the 10,000 hours thing drives me crazy. Fuck Malcolm Gladwell. I hate that shit. People say that, and like people that don't know shit about shit, are always like, well, have you done 10,000? Like, no, motherfucker, I've done like at least 5 and I'm pretty good at it. So go fuck yourself. You know what I
do it for 8 hours a day.
I mean,
That was
you
that
know,
accent coming out, wasn't it?
yeah. But no, I agree. Like, you know, I mean, most kids that come out of CIA and shit now just think they're immediately going to become like Food Network stars and stuff too, which is a problem.
It's not about the food anymore. It's about like product and brand and how you fit in that environment, which I find really sad because, but in some ways, maybe a good, like right now, like food is very expensive. Produce is expensive. Meat is expensive. There are a lot of things we're never going to see again. And when I was in culinary school, some of my like old professors, they were like, food should be treated with respect and integrity for how it was grown, where it was grown, all of that. And I think now we're coming back to that. For a long time, everything was just accessible and it was cheap, and you didn't really appreciate it as much as when there's some type of scarcity.
Do you know Bob Del Grosso?
No.
He wasn't one of your teachers. He's a guy I know who taught there for a long time. Great chef. Yeah, it's crazy. I've been up to the CIA. I took a baking class there, for a 1-day thing when I was in culinary school, right around the corner from you at Baltimore International College.
And they're doing great things there now. They've turned it into at the culinary school.
Oh, where it's Stafford now? Yeah.
Yeah, because they've turned it into a kitchen because they had so much cooking space and it's not a school. But young entrepreneurs are cooking out of there.
Oh, good. That's great because when I went there, they only used half of that building. They only used the new half. The old half of that building was empty and it was nothing but kitchens.
Some guy came to me.
They probably had hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Cheesecake maker. And
what's that?
He's this guy makes these amazing cheesecakes. I have a card right here. I can't remember his name. Shoot. And he's like, yeah, my kitchen is right behind here.
Oh, that's awesome.
Here. And he's like, oh, the Stratford school. And then I met somebody else and they're like, oh yeah, I cook out of there. So it's really awesome.
Yeah. The new half of that building's nice as hell, but it's the old part. They didn't even like, they just had it as storage. They probably had hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars of cooking equipment in there.
Oh, really? I've never been in there.
It's a pretty cool space. Like the new part of it is a school. Like it's just giant kitchens, one's a giant baking kitchen. One's this one's for, candy, confectionery stuff. This one's just for general cooking, multiple levels of stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. It's really nice. I shouldn't have done it.
I'm right behind.
You should go
here. I'm going to ask the cheesecake guy to take me over there.
Okay. So like the space in your place, like I know so when you walk in, there's the sitting room, the 8 billion cookbooks that I can't stop reading, all the candy on the one side, which is awesome. and then the deli section in the middle, which is where the coffee and tea and stuff is.
Pies and cookies and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the back is the grocery store area.
Mm-hmm.
How big is the bakery?
The same size as the place you're talking about.
Okay.
It's the same size.
So it's cut in half.
So we have, if you come through like where the community table is in the dining room and you come to the left. We have our bakery right there. And then if you go around, we have a huge kitchen in the back.
You have to show me next time I'm there.
Yeah, it's a great kitchen. I love it.
That's awesome.
It's a little warm, but I've been really spoiled because we use induction and we've been a totally green kitchen for a long time. But here I was like, I wanted like a salad. I wanted some things that were gas, and I regret it now.
You regret having gas?
Yes, I do. it smell because I've like for the past 11 years we've had no gas.
Okay.
And like I read all the things about gas cooking and I think it'll be phased out, and induction like doesn't produce heat in your kitchen. All of the energy is forced into like the pan
metal.
that you're yeah.
Right.
And so our kitchen's always been cool.
Oh, I never thought about that. All that extra
Yeah, 60%
radiation.
of the gas comes out as heat into the room. So like I was like, I want like a plancha, like a gas, and I love it.
Yeah.
But every morning I come in and I'm like, oh my gosh, this place just it smells like gas. Like it's horrible. And I was like, I can't believe that kitchen people work like this all the time, but they're still alive.
That's why they got vents, man. That's what the hoods are for.
But I'm going back to all electric. As soon as I make a little bit more money, I'm gonna go to get an electric plancha. And
do they do induction planchas?
Everything, yeah.
Wow, I mean, of course they do.
Cook-Tech, which I love them. We've had our Cook-Tech burners for over 10 years now, and we only one burner is not working. Then we just eliminated, and we have the other little side burners we can put anywhere. So you don't really need gas anymore. It's not that healthy for you to breathe it in every day.
Sure.
So and it's a lot cooler, so you're not as grouchy.
Yeah, I never even thought about the fact that because the fire comes and envelops things, but a lot of it's coming out the sides and not really heating anything. It's just going into the air. Wow, I never thought about that. That's crazy.
And I think they're doing like green technology in the kitchen is like amazing. Like there's a learning curve. Like,
sure.
Like if you flip on your induction burner and you walk away for 2 minutes, you're like going to torch whatever you're cooking. It's just easy.
Yeah, because it's so hot.
Gas, you can just flip it and then come back. But because it's done with magnets, like whatever is sitting right there, unless you're stirring it or get it at the right temperature, it just takes a minute to figure it out.
Yeah, it's just like learning.
I learned a lot of things.
It's like, I hate electric cooking. Like if I got to go to if we're at a rental or something like that, like a rental house, and they always have the electric heat, I'm like, this fucking sucks. But then after by like day 2, you're like, okay, I get the hang of it. You know what I mean?
Induction heat's
but induction's amazing. Yeah. I have an induction burner here that I use sometimes. I use it when I do like cooking classes or, whatever. It's a lot of fun to use. And it's also super efficient. It heats stuff up super quick. Like, yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome to use the kitchen anytime if you want to do cooking classes.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. We will talk. Okay. You do catering. How big do you go?
We do pretty big. Like we just did the Creative Alliance, the Marquee Ball.
Okay.
So we do pretty big stuff. This space allows.
Have you ever seen their kitchens?
In the Creative Alliance?
Yeah, across the street.
Oh, those kitchens. Yeah, I was like, the one we were just cooked at was like.
Oh, those are terrible. In the actual Creative
Alliance. That place is amazing. Creative Alliance does amazing stuff.
That's where I did a couple cooking classes out of. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was super fun. And they're like, oh, and here's our 25 induction burners. I was like, excuse me? And they open up the cupboards. I was like, holy shit. Like, where'd you get these at? Yeah. So how many people was the Creative Alliance thing for?
The Creative Alliance was, I think it was 160 for dinner. And then the after party, which was a lot of fun. Like that was the most fun you could have in a catering job.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And how small do you go?
2 people, 1 people.
Really?
We'll cook for anybody.
Okay, so what kind of stuff do you?
Stuff we do is custom. So someone will come to me and say, I always ask like what someone's budget is, So if we are to do something, we will cater a lunch for one person. We have no minimum, so if we can fit it in, we'll do it. We do a lot of corporate catering for Hopkins, University of Maryland. So we do a lot of different things from culinary, and those different revenue streams are what help to keep the store as special as it is. Because
Yeah.
if it were just, I don't think anybody could open like a store like Culinary that
No.
didn't do the other things, because you'd be out of business.
Yeah.
So it is it is my love, the store. I love the customers. I love to make people happy. And I love to see their faces when they come in, because we're a rare breed of store. There used to be stores like this everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's so expensive. And, so many people are brand oriented, just to, care about the brand, not so much what's in it. But we have always been a little bit more than that. So for catering, like we cater to people. I've done 2 people in the backyard of the old Culinary. I've done engagements. I've done weddings. So we do a lot of different things, and range of number of people. Our sweet spot, like I love to cook for groups that are under 100 people. 60 people is great for me. Things where people can really, like, all my clients we create, like they'll say, hey, this is my budget for this. I want this, this, and this. I kind of walk through, give them different ideas. We're not your average catering company. So It's really hard to kind of pin it down. But we do anything from private dining, because I've had experience going to someone's house as a private chef, setting up, cooking in, their house, their environment, to, lots of other types of things. So pretty well versed, and have a lot of 25 plus years doing it. So I'm used to different settings, different people. So I wouldn't say there's like no job that we take whatever jobs come along.
And you don't have like a set menu. We have
a set menu. Like if you're ordering catering, and you can order it through our website directly, and it goes through like a Cater Nation, different type of company like that. You can also go to our website in the inquiry space and send an inquiry for an event or contact information, and we will respond. But there is pretty much nothing that I'm not going to turn my nose up at it. Sometimes I will tell people, like, they have unreal expectations about the cost of food. Like, it's incredibly expensive right now. But I would say that I care about the ingredients. So we come out pretty much the same or less than other catering companies do. But we use, I care about the meat. Like it's not full of carcinogenic nitrates and things like that. I use AB deli meat. And it's not something that we're trumpeting like, hey, we use organic this. We don't always use organic, but to the best of my ability, I use Maryland local farms and put a lot of thought into sourcing the products that we have. So I especially care about fruits and vegetables. One of my employees calls me La Reina de Vegetales, which is like queen of the vegetables. And I've never really understood vegetarian cooking in Baltimore, because it's more than mac and cheese and it's more than bread. But there aren't a lot of places that spend a lot of time preparing delicious vegetables.
It's usually an afterthought. Yeah.
Yeah. And as an Asian person, like it is our first thought, like, what are the vegetables? And then the meat is always like, smaller dishes amongst many dishes. But it is not always the focus. So I guess growing up eating like that, it is also my focus now as a chef. Like, so and I think people really appreciate that as a caterer, as a private chef, that type of thought goes into the meal preparation, and that they're not paying extra for it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just in who we are.
I was looking at the website, and I always forget that you do like box lunches for works and stuff, like for work places. Yeah. I'm going to have to start doing that at my workplace now, because we have a place, but I know what your sandwiches are like.
And it's you can get a box lunch for like $19, and it's got fresh fruits, vegetables. You got a sandwich. We make all the bread that we use in our, for our sandwiches.
That was my next question. Okay. Because the sandwiches are so. What is that damn bread that you're using for the sandwiches? for like your breakfast sandwiches and stuff.
Oh, that is just a milk bread, classic
That's what I
milk
thought.
bread recipe.
Milk
and then
bread,
we
yeah.
make a secret recipe for our flatbread, which came from a restaurant that I
was
grew up
really
with
good.
in Ann Arbor. And
Because I had that Greek wrap, that chicken Greek wrap. That was
that's the
great.
bread. It's like a honey pita bread that we make. We do a really good gluten-free focaccia. In fact, we were thinking about not making focaccia that is not gluten-free because this one is so good. So we use it for our sandwiches, and we are always trying to refine what we do. There are, if we've nailed down a recipe, we really like it, but we will we've been working on these gluten-free bread recipes. There's a friend of mine, her name is Les, and she is a gluten-free baker, and she makes excellent focaccia. Like, she is the queen of focaccia. And she kind of introduced me to it. And then I really thought about, like, gluten-free. Like, I'm always kind of like a scientist, like, how do we make this better?
Yeah,
she really changed my mind about, like, how we look at food. And especially, like, people with, as chefs, we're a little bit snotty and always look at people who have, like, special dietary needs as, like,
I've never understood that.
Like, lesser beings because they don't eat gluten or this. And I was like, well, the world's changed. There's a lot of allergies, and we are, as a catering company and as a chef, like, I'm here to cook for those people, just as I am for somebody who eats, like, milk bread, and so it's really, like, when I say 10,000 hours to become a master at something, it's that you're constantly evolving, like, as a cook, as a chef, like, oh, that's interesting. Like, I wonder if I could do that, or how could I, change that? So, like, the next big challenge we have is to have a whole gluten-free section, bread and dessert that are all fantastic, that we always have, and that people will come and eat it happily, and those who aren't gluten-free will also eat it. Yeah. And it doesn't taste like sand.
Right. But, like, the one thing that I've noticed is your sandwiches are very thoughtful. They're put together with thought. Like, it's not just a bunch of shit on bread and then here's your sandwich. Like, the layers are, you can tell, are a certain way. It's done the same way every time. Like, so I got the chicken banh mi a couple weeks ago, and that was incredible. And it was so huge. Like, I had to cut, I couldn't finish the other half. And then this Saturday, I got the smoked tofu banh mi sandwich. And damn if that wasn't just as good. Like,
well, the smoked tofu comes from Nepal. Like, I love Nepal.
Have you worked with Nepal for a while?
Yeah, we're friends, and
my old co-host Jenny used to work for them. She used to be their main smoker.
Oh, really?
Jenny Peck, yeah.
Her. Oh, I think I do know Jenny.
Korean lady?
Nope, don't know her.
Short Korean woman. Yeah. You would know her. She's got a big ass mouth. You know her. She's awesome. Yeah. She left to go run her parents' diner in Brooklyn.
Okay.
Brooklyn, Maryland here.
Uh-huh.
So yeah. They have
to check her out.
all their truckers come in, and the truckers that have known her and her parents for years they know that they can get kimchi on their egg sandwiches and shit. It's pretty awesome.
I love to meet other Asian American, especially Asian American female chefs. Like,
I gotta bring Jenny down to you. You'll love her. Yeah.
Oh, please do. But we do have a special relationship with Nepal, and we have a mini, we sell their smoked salmon, and
that stuff's so good.
And it's so good. And I was like, I love to help other businesses that are small business owners, because it's really a grind.
And also, you don't have to smoke your own tofu now. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
I never want to do that.
Right.
I'm trying to get them to smoke other things for me.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to smoke my own. I'm just too busy. Like, we have a really small staff, and when you say, like, the sandwiches are thoughtfully put together, there are a lot of, like, every single one of my employees are extremely thoughtful, fantastic people who love working here. So it is like my job is so much better because of I get to come in and we laugh all day long, but they really are articulate in what they do and take really great pride, especially one of my employees, Rob, in the size of the sandwich. Sometimes I'm like, hey, that's got like way too much stuff on it. Like, and he's like, but this is our brisket sandwich. That's his baby. If you come through
the
door,
cheddar,
he's gonna tell you
the Canadian brisket.
Yeah.
My son ate that sandwich because he's had it before, and he's 15, so he doesn't remember. And I'm like, do you remember that sandwich? He's like, no. And I'm like, it had this. Oh yeah. And he ordered it, and he sits there and he eats it, and he's like, this is the greatest sandwich of all time.
Gotta go take a nap.
Oh hell no! He'll run around the block. He's 15. He doesn't give a shit.
Oh,
he's a garbage disposal. You could throw anything at him, and he's fine.
Yeah, it's a lot of the stuff we make. Like I have a lot of people from different countries that work here, and I come by them happenstance. Most of the people in my kitchen, in fact, all of them, have no formal culinary training. My baker was from Cuba, and he moved here 3 or 4 years ago. And he came by, looked in the window one day, and he's like, knocks on the door. He doesn't speak English, and he's like, "I'm looking for a job." And I was like, "Oh, I don't have one," because I was in Pigtown. A lot of people knock on the door.
Yeah, sure.
So, and then I see him, and he's like staring at like the mixer for the bread machine. Mm-hmm. And he's like, oh, and I said, oh, what? It's curiosity. I was like, what'd you do in your previous job? And like, we're going through like Google Translate. He's like, I was a baker for 15 years. I was like, oh, come back on Monday. And I hired him. And so everybody that I've hired has come knocking on my door and asking me for a job. And every single one of them have been the most amazing people. And so we try and help, like we do a Cuban empanada, which is my baker's name is Peachy, which is that he makes. He can put out bread for 200 people. He's like, so I used to make bread, 3,000 loaves a day in Cuba.
Oh, shit.
He's like, this is nothing. I was like, oh, okay. So I try and get as much work as I can. And then Luisana, one of my employees, she's from Venezuela. And I try and help her. She, one day on Saturdays, sometimes she'll do Venezuelan empanadas. We do arepas. We do other things. And I like to give back to them because they give so much to me. And it gives them pride. So I give her 50% of whatever empanadas we sell. I take 50%. And it gets her excited. It makes her feel proud of the food that she makes. She misses her home and her family there. So each person that works here has a different, takes pride in different way, but we are this small little group of people that have come together through food, and it's pretty amazing, actually.
That is cool. Yeah. Does the food in your deli case change throughout the day?
It changes all the time. Because I hate cooking the same thing all the time. Like if I had to do a set menu all the time.
No, I mean throughout the day, from morning to after. Okay, good.
Because
I haven't gotten to the meat pies or the empanadas yet. I haven't cracked into
they do change. We cook on request, so somebody can be like, "Oh my gosh, can you please make a chicken pot pie for next weekend?" Like my mom's Pennsylvania Dutch. We'll make it. We'll make anything that somebody asks us to do. And then we do a lot of experimentation. But it just kind of makes us interesting. It's the same thing.
Those hot dogs the other day looked really good.
Those are heart attack.
With the bacon on them? Yeah. What was on them?
So it was a Wagyu beef hot dog wrapped in the Montreal smoked brisket. And then we put it in our milk bread and baked it in a form in the oven, put mustard pearls in it, and which are smoked mustard pearls, and then put a piece of bacon on top.
What are smoked mustard pearls?
So first they're you, what do you call it when you marinate it, but you soak it so it absorbs the liquid.
Brine it.
And then you Yes, thank you very much. I knew there was a word for that. And then you cook them in a pressure cooker. And then
so they're brine mustard seeds.
They're brine mustard seeds, and these are smoked. They were smoked first, the mustard seed, and then they're put in the hot dog bun. Sometimes we put like chopped onions in there.
Hell yeah!
Depends on who's making them. We all have our different little things. And I'm like, no, that doesn't go in there. And then Rob's like, I put these on. He calls them custom modifications. He's like, there's some custom modifications in here, which means it wasn't spec.
So what is some of the stuff that you really enjoy cooking?
I'm Asian, so I love vegetables. So I do, and I don't do a lot of it for the store because you have to cook it and eat it right away, like served hot. I like making Thai curries a lot. I love Thai food. I love those things you're going to see soon. We will make all our own curries in-house and sell them in a vacuum sealed package so that you can have great curry and you can make it at home yourself. So those things I like. I think the older I get as a chef, there's some things that are boring to me now, but baking, I never like, when you go to culinary school, you take either the baking track, pastry, or you go the other direction. And I'm not a precise person. I thought like that had that mind of a baker.
Mm-hmm.
So my stuff isn't always beautiful, but it always tastes good.
Right.
So I've been trying to refine my skills a little bit more so that it tastes good and it's beautiful. And sometimes I hit the mark and sometimes I don't, but it does always pretty tasty.
The baking thing is
I like.
The baking thing is always interesting. Like I'm constantly trying to perfect my pizza dough. And I do two kinds. I'll do like a Neapolitan regular, but then like I do grandma pies all the time because they're easy. You just do sheet pan after sheet pan of them and feed all the kids. We'd have parties and the kids all come over and like that stuff's really easy. But then the Neapolitan stuff, and one of the things I'm realizing is a lot of it's not even like, it's just mainly the folding. The more you fold, the more layers you're getting without having to actually knead the hell out of it. Cause you want it to basically lay for a day anyway. But the folding is really the essential part. And that's the part that's been fascinating to me because I love baking and I'll take the time for it sometimes. But like, and even breads, like the folding of the dough while you're letting it just hang out, and then, fold it, let it stay for a couple hours, fold it, let it stay for a couple, there are all these videos on YouTube that I watch. That's like a bakery in Japan or a bakery in France like, and it's all silent. Like it's just the sound of the kitchen. Nobody's talking. So you just see what they're doing and it's incredible. It's just a lot of folding. And I'm like, is that just the secret that everybody's realizing now, that you don't have to really like industrialize and pound the hell out of it? That if you just give it a little time and a little bit of folding, like this amazing gelatinous bread, holds up, and when you bake it, it blows up real big and nice. And you're like, oh, okay.
And when you nail it, when you get that recipe and it's spot on and it does what it's supposed to do, like it's the best feeling.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Especially if you're like a home cook and you do it and you get that first loaf and you pull it out and it, you thump in it. It has that like that boom, boom. And then you put it down and then it starts cooling and you hear the top of it crackling. You know what I mean? Like that's like magic.
Eat it right away with some butter.
Yeah, you try to, and then you ruin it. I've been there.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So you make curry. So when you eat at home, you eat curries and stuff, or
I eat. I had a lot of health problems, which happened just I think because of stress, working in a kitchen for a long time. But I came. Was diagnosed with some rare. Medical liver disease. And I don't really know where it came from, but it really affected the way I ate. could no longer process the things that I love. Like I can't eat foie gras, I can't eat fatty
Oh, wow.
steak, I can't eat a lot of things. So my cooking has changed. So what I eat at home now, I eat I eat a lot of vegetables, different ways to make them. I love soup. I like my taste has become a little bit more mundane because I can't physically tolerate a lot of the things I used to. Um, so I think that I really love Japanese food because it's
Oh,
very simple. Um,
yeah.
and it's about the flavor, the terroir of the ingredients that you're using. So I've been finding that my taste is like I will spend a long time to make like a vegetable broth that is
Mhm.
so delicious. Like those little things I didn't appreciate, I think, as much as I do now. So it's simplified cooking. I'm really, really curious about the mixing of cultures. Like as a person who is mixed, um, Chinese and like Caucasian, I've always grown up in that world. So I look at food maybe differently than other people. Like
Sure.
every country in the world has some type of pasta, there's baked bread, there's, vegetable dishes, soups, all the same cooking techniques. So, like you look at a dumpling and you're like, oh, well, it's a pierogi here, it's this here. And the way the preparation is a vessel for what's inside of it. So that's kind of the way I look at something. You're going to
Everybody
make
has a dumpling.
tostada, like, okay, the tostada is crunchy, it's great, it's got salty, it's made with corn. But really, you can put anything from like, you could do like a tartar type dish from Ethiopia on top of that tostada, and it would be great.
Yeah.
It's steak tartare with some clarified butter. Like, what's not great about that? So, the intersection of culture, the history of food, I find really interesting. I often cook, I have a ton of cookbooks, you've seen them, but that's only half of them. But I have a lot of older cookbooks that from the 60s, 70s, 80s, when I think that like the culinary world, I think was the most interesting because it's stuff that hadn't ever been done before. People were eating European food and it was the same type of American food in the United States. And then along came people like Wolfgang Pupp, Emeril Lagasse, like, there are plenty of like great chefs that are older and their cookbooks are amazing. They're not full of pictures, they're full of recipes.
No.
And
Yeah.
so in your mind, when you look at that recipe or you read it, you can taste what it is and you have a visual, interpretation of it that is from the book. So I find the experimentation in those books is accessible to home cooks because that's who you were making cookbooks from then. And they weren't done by like, hey, we're going to have 100 recipes, this many pictures, and the pictures are great to look at. And most people aren't ever going to open that cookbook again.
Yeah. Have you like the term enshittification?
No, but I like to. Maybe
Okay, so like when
my whole life.
so like when a website is great, it was basically termed for Facebook. When Facebook first came out, it was awesome. It was like a community, and then slowly they start taking things away and making it more profitable, quote unquote, and more streamlined. And then they just kind of ruin it with all this other garbage. I feel like the enshittification of cookbooks has happened a lot, and it kind of peaked maybe 5 years ago, and now it's coming back to basically like being like it's back to like more simpler things. It's not as more involved or pushing a brand or that kind of. Do you know Cara Mae Harris?
Mm-hmm.
She's been on the podcast a few times. She is right. If you can write this down, Old Line Plate. It's a blog that she writes, and she has a database of thousands of cookbooks, but old esoteric, like a lot of community cookbooks, a lot of church, like the kind that are like spiral bound or plastic bound. She has thousands, like for for right before Christmas, she dropped me off a cookbook all about plums that just came out. She was like, I got nothing to do with this, but you might enjoy it. And it's just a really cool cookbook. You need to talk to her because
I do. I would can't wait to meet her.
She makes really, really cool little tea towels too.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah. But she's awesome. I'll have to hook you guys up.
Oh, please do. Yeah.
Okay. Last two questions. Well, this isn't really as much of a question as an ask. Can you explain the Choco-Banana thing to my listeners? Because I've tried to do it and I'm probably doing it poorly. Also, remember we told you we were doing like a Eurovision party?
Uh-huh.
And so we got those extra Choco-Bananas. Those things went, like, I even chopped them up into pieces. The first person that had one was like, oh my God. And then it was like, that just everything, it just got torn apart.
Yeah. So chocolate, like banana bread, there are people who like chocolate chips in their banana bread. And then there are people who are purists who do not like that at all. Like, don't mess with the banana bread. So you have to have, so our Choco-Banana, I was visiting my dad in Bangkok, and I was in, like, they have a lot of food malls that go up like 20 stories. And I went to this place and they had the Choco-Banana, right? Mm-hmm. And it was shaped like a banana and it said banana on it. And then it was chocolate covered. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so awesome. And I searched like high and low to get the forms, the Choco-Banana form.
Yeah.
And so, because I thought it was I was like, who wouldn't want like a chocolate covered banana bread that's shaped like a banana?
Sure.
Debated, like, do we put it on a stick so you can eat it like a banana on a stick? Like, you know, they had the frozen chocolate bananas on a stick.
Mm-hmm.
So we ended up not going in that direction. So then, like, the perfect banana bread to go in the form. We didn't want one that rose too much. We wanted it a little bit crisp. We wanted it to actually taste a lot like banana. Mm-hmm. So we made the recipe and we make it now. We make banana jam and we put the banana jam to make the banana bread.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, listen up. This is a good one. And then
I got a banana bread recipe that I use. It's insane, but yeah, I like banana jam.
Banana.
I like where that's going.
Banana.
Huh?
It's chunky banana, not pureed. Like,
it's not a puree.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So then we put the banana bread in the form, and then the chocolate part took us a minute because we kept messing up how to temper the chocolate right. So it said, you could see the word chocolate still.
So it snaps. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so you got the banana pans, but then do you have like, you got to have some sort of plastic or I'm assuming like rubber form that you put the chocolate
is the banana. And then, so we bake the banana bread, then we take the banana bread out, and then we take the chocolate and then put the chocolate on the inside of the form. Then we put the banana bread back into the form, but it has to be done.
So if you didn't cover it in chocolate, the banana bread banana would actually still say Choco-Banana on it.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. that makes me really happy for some reason. I don't know why.
It's a little thing underneath, like lacy underwear or something.
Yeah. It's what I was gonna say. It's like it's underwear. It's really funny.
Yeah. So, like, I'll see some stuff and I was like, oh, that's great. And like the people who work with me, they're like, well, you need to calm down because I have a million ideas all the time. And they're like, we don't have that many people that work here.
It's so good though. I love those things. Okay, last question before we get to the end. What is your favorite thing if you were to tell somebody to come in and buy from the grocery store? Like, what's your favorite like crazy thing that you think would help elevate somebody's home cooking?
Oh, can I have 5?
Sure.
May I?
Yeah. Go for it.
One is that Worcestershire sauce.
Okay, yeah.
The
really
Colonel
good.
Pabst is my top 5 in there. To improve people's cooking, I, I
Or
would say
just make it more fun, or what,
we have a lot of fruit vinegars that are delicious, and you can do a lot with fruit vinegars. So the ones we carry are from France, different flavors, but they're great. Like for people who want, you want to go home, you want to make dinner fast. So if you take grilled chicken, you can use them for salads. So it's like a thick, like fruit puree with vinegar.
Oh, okay.
So it will like coat something that you're like, fish or chicken. And I just like olive oil with that. And it's fantastic on anything. So it's a great way to brighten up any dish. So, and especially like going into this season in the summer, enhances so many different flavors that you're cooking with in the summer, vegetables especially, and fruits. So that's one of them. Chili crisp. I have a love of chili crisp and a fascination. And so we have one brand, and it's XILLI called Chili, and it is from Mexico City, and it is hands down the best chili crisp.
We put it on everything.
Yeah.
We buy it from you, and it's so good. Yeah.
Fantastic. They also have a whole thing, like if you're like hot things and spicy, we have like pickled peppers from them. We have like Malay sauces. So that brand, I would say, is really, really versatile for lots of different types of cooking. What else is good? Oh, one magical ingredient, which is expensive, but and I've never been a pepper freak, but we have a Cambodian pepper, which is a green peppercorn that has been brined in salt. So it is the most exquisite flavor. Like it's fresh, and it is not pepper that's been stale, sitting around forever, but it's pretty transformative for a dish, I think. So I really like that.
Goes good in what?
It's for finishing. So
okay.
Yeah, so you can really taste it like on a salad, on proteins. It just has a peppery taste, but also fruity. And I've never like been one of those people that will go on and on about like, but it's really, really delicious. I like that a lot. And the white pepper. So I'd say any like spices like that. And then we have a new brand, which I cannot remember the name of, but she's the woman's from Greece. The company is located in Dallas, Texas, and she does Greek fruit preserves. And she does some pretty interesting combinations. Like we have like a bergamot, like it's more like fruit that's in a syrup. Like you can put it on ice cream, you can put it on toast. Like it's really amazing. Just kumquats and different stuff. But there's a whole lot of little jam makers that I like.
Nice, cool. Yeah. All right. So last thing, I hate to tell you this. Tomorrow you are gonna die.
Really?
You might have been a bad person. You're on death row. The safe will come out and drop onto you like your cartoon. Who knows? Regardless, you're gonna die. But good thing, you can eat whatever you want. You can have the biggest or smallest last dinner you're ever gonna have. What would you like to have? Liver problems beware. Like who cares about that? You're dying tomorrow. So what if you could pick your favorite thing to eat before tomorrow? It can be as big as small, whatever drinks you want, whatever desserts. What would you want?
Oh, it's gonna be so boring.
That's okay. That's perfectly fine. Everybody says that.
No, but it would probably be like Hainanese chicken, like Hainan chicken, like a Singapore chicken.
Okay.
And sauteed snow pea leaves.
Okay.
And maybe chicken tamale on the side, just to mix it up. And to drink, let's see. To drink. I don't know. Lately, we've been making these like fruit syrups and like mashing fresh like mint in them. So right now we're doing like a blueberry lavender with lime juice. That's
Sounds good.
I would probably like that, and I would probably put some gin in it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. No dessert?
Oh, desserts.
Doesn't have to be. If you're not a dessert person.
I have two things that I
Okay.
do,
You can have both.
dual side by side.
It's your last meal.
Some kind of panna cotta,
A
which
what?
I love. Panna cotta.
Okay.
And I make like a really dark chocolate pudding with sea salt and olive oil.
Ooh, that sounds really good.
Mm-hmm. That's what I would eat with some raspberries and some whipped cream.
That sounds delicious. All right, good. Yeah, there's so many people that are just like, they do what you did. They pick comfort food. It's not like an extravagant, crazy thing. Like, mine's basically chili dogs. So.
Oh, I might eat bouillabaisse, like a really delicious bouillabaisse.
Nice. Yeah.
I make every year for my birthday.
With some Rui on the toast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, delicious.
All right. Well, hey, tell everybody where they can find you on socials and websites and all that.
Oh, you can find us at Culinary Architecture. And that is also, we're on Instagram and Facebook, Culinary Architecture at Culinary Architecture. You can find us online. If you'd like to order catering, you can do that. You can call us directly at Culinary Architecture, 443-708-8482, or send us a message through our website.
Or drop in.
That's what we like the most.
Come get a sandwich.
Come join our communal table, which is fantastic. You'll meet lots of great people.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Sylva. I really appreciate it. And I really appreciate you, dear listener. We will see you in a couple weeks when we come back. Please rate and review us anywhere where you can get us, where you're listening to us. At least tell someone that who likes to cook or is a home cook or wants to learn more about cooking or food in general. We do a lot of different things on this podcast, and we do not pay to advertise, and word of mouth is how we get out there. So for the Rude Cooking School, my name is John Hauser III. Don't yuck my yum. And you are?
Sylva Lin at Culinary Architecture.
Hell yeah. See you later, everybody. Have a great week. Peace.
Peace.